What is good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video. Let me first say that I am not a financial planner, so take none of this as financial advice. Anyways, let's break down what's going on with the market. So I was anticipating we'd see a kind of like a pop, then a drop and a fade in the market later on. Instead, the market just continued to sink as soon as we opened and we broke some critical support. Now, with the market dropping like this, I just want to mention that we're at a very, very critical level right now on SPY. We have this trend line of support that's been holding up the market, and we're going to be watching to see if this trend line right here holds, right? This is where SPY is starting to bounce off of this trend line right here in the very, very low 444s. So if we were to break below this, 444 is going to be tested. If that fails us, there's 442 as the next critical support, followed by 440, which happens to be where max pain is. If that breaks, we would likely see this thing sinking a lot lower. However, we're holding above 444 and the critical support, so there is a chance SPY is going to try to hold around this level just temporarily. It still is looking relatively weak, so it's not really like a clean bounce or anything like that. It's just trying to hold above critical levels. So we're going to be watching this very, very carefully. We're going to be looking at the chart to see if we hold or not, and try our best to be as unbiased as possible. Now, when it comes to Tesla, however, Tesla is looking quite decent compared to the market. If we look at Tesla, it's not looking too bad. It's currently at 274.5, so close to the levels we saw yesterday, right? It's not looking that bad. I say that because when you look at Tesla, as of right now, Tesla's only down 0.62% or 0.5% now. We have resistance on Tesla right here at the 20 EMA at 274.67. And above that, we have 275 and 275.72 as resistance for the chart. For support, you're going to be watching this thing at around 274 flat. And below that, we technically have some support around 273 flat. And below that, we have 272.75. Those are all supports for Tesla. It's very choppy, very tight right now, not really making any crazy big moves. And it may remain like this as time goes on. However, I just want to warn you all, we need to see Tesla hold above 272.75 as time goes on, or else it starts sinking very close to 270. So we need to be holding that level. As of right now, we're holding quite decently. Tesla's not looking too bad compared to the market, like I said. SPY, however, is just barely holding the support. So we need to see it try to hold. If it breaks below this, it's going to test 444. That's going to be a key level too. If that breaks, SPY is going to come sinking much harder. As of right now, it's still trying to hold up, so watch it all very carefully. For resistance, you're going to be watching 445 flats, not to mention 445.5 as some very, very key resistance levels. We also got reject off like 444.91, so it's very tight, not really doing anything too significant. It's very important to watch it from there. Aapl came down quite a bit, still looking weak, but we're going to be watching 174.5 as support. If that fails us, we're going to see Aapl sink towards 174. Also, I just want to add that on the 4-hour time frame, Aapl is still entering this support zone. 173.5 will be critical support below that if we break below 174. As of right now, it's trying to hold up. We will see if this holds up for the time being. But overall, it's looking very choppy, very flat just right now. You can see it's been very flat for the last few hours. So we're going to be watching that very carefully simultaneously, or at least paying attention to it every so often. The QQQ is still looking relatively weak. It's been downtrending quite a bit, but it's trying to base around 371.25. Just to be clear, if we break below this, we have 370 as critical support, then 368. For resistance, you're going to be watching 372 flat, 372.98, and then above that, if we do break it, 374 is possible. But as of right now, it looks very flat, very sideways, and overall, it still is kind of weak in a way because we're not getting much of a rebound. So it's still looking weak. We're going to be watching the support on the triple Q. Nvda is also looking relatively weak. We have the low of 442 that just ended up getting hit. If it breaks below this level, we have the potential to retest 440 and possibly go all the way down to 435. So Nvidia looks weak. We ended up breaking below our potential inverse head and shoulders, and we invalidated it. So it's not a good sign for the stock, and this thing is looking more bearish now than before. So watch 442 as critical support. If this breaks for Nvidia, it's going to start sinking much lower. That is most definitely possible, and Nvidia is still looking weak. Just want to be clear with everyone, Nvidia is looking relatively weak compared to the market. The VIX is trying to bounce off the bullish divergence. This is now testing its 200 EMA on the 10-minute time frame. And on the Dixie or the dollar index, this is about to get a bullish cross on the PPO, but it's kind of downtrending and just trading flats like the market. So this is not affecting the market as much. Typically, you'd want to see this like push as the market drops, but that's not what it's doing. And most of these stocks are looking relatively weak from Coinbase. Even Google is still it's a little flat, but it still is kind of weak because it's been downtrending overall. Not to mention Amazon, just a couple of others. Amazon's also downtrending, testing 140 as critical support. Below that, we have 139. If it does end up breaking below that, 139 flat, 138.25 below that. But it's still looking weak on the 4-hour time frame, so be careful with Amazon. Meta is also it's oversold, but it's approaching critical support around 302. So we're going to be watching that carefully. As of right now, we'll see if that holds. If it fails, 300 is on the table. So we're going to be watching these levels, looking at SPY. This thing's making an attempt to try to push up a little bit. We're trying to get above 445, but like I said earlier, still looking weak overall. Even if we are at like 445 and etc., that's still a big drop compared to where we were like yesterday. So I want to make that as clear as possible. We're going to be watching these resistance levels, and we're going to be watching to see if this balance could hold. As of right now, it's still looking weak overall. So we'll see if this thing can make an attempt to rebound. Anyways, we're going to be watching these levels carefully. We want to be open-minded, and I am sorry, guys, that I can't always predict everything perfectly. I did call a potential fade coming, but I just didn't. I was calling a bounce before that, but we didn't really get the bounce. So it is what it is. Just going to be watching the charts and just be open-minded nonetheless. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. Remain calm, cool, and collected, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you, and peace out.